Here's an exercise demonstration video for the object carry. This is kind of a catch-all term for anything unusual and oddly shaped which is challenging for us to carry. As I demonstrate today with a sandbag, a weightlifting keg, and a 5-gallon bucket of rice, hopefully this gives you some inspiration on objects that you can use for your own object carries. This is about as functional as it gets because not only is it challenging for us to carry this load, but it also closely mirrors the demands of regular life. So as I show these objects today, keep in mind that you can use these as an inspiration for your own movements. First one is the weightlifting keg. Not everybody has a weightlifting keg, but if you're doing something like this, half full with water, there's a serious slosh factor, and we want to just focus on the posture and the alignment of our body, as we're carrying this. Notice I'm standing up nice and straight, and I'm kind of pinching my elbows in to the side as I do this one. Of course, be respectful of your load and keep a nice flat back on the way down to the ground. You can also do your object carry with a 5-gallon bucket of rice or water. The rice won't slosh as much as the water, so this one won't be quite as challenging to carry, both in a movement sense and in an absolute load. But when you're doing this one, you can do the same idea, holding it close to the front of your waistband for that proper posture as you're working on this walking position. Or you can bring your hands up underneath and hold this in front. So now there's a little bit more ability for that rice to shift and a little bit more challenge for you as you're carrying this object. Remember, of course, when we're doing these movements, we can't afford to let our upper back be curved or rounded. We need to stand up nice and tall. But we don't want our elbows to be jutting way forward. Instead, I'm holding this tightly to me. So I'm almost imagining as though I'm trying to crush that bucket down and crush it down against my chest. That way we're making sure to activate the upper back and shoulders pulling this against us rather than having it be the chest and shoulders trying to lift it out in front of us. Small detail there, but will go a big way to keeping your back in the proper position. Now, finally, you can do your object carry with a sandbag or a heavy duffel bag if you have something similar. The object carry with the sandbag, same idea with my fingers or my hands gripping. I'm going to pull this tightly to my chest. So I'm crushing it into my chest as I'm focusing on this walk. And that way we make sure to keep the proper vertical position and to keep the right upper back and shoulder tension as you're carrying this object. All right. Now, those object carries are about as functional as it gets. So make sure that you start off with a load that's appropriate for you, where you can maintain the proper position, but still feel the challenge. And remember on this one, it's okay to go for a little bit longer duration before you go for an increased load. So try to carry what you can a little bit further, a little bit longer, before you try to carry a heavier load. And finally, keep in mind that if you don't have access to a lot of space, you can do, you can do your object carries in place with a walking in place motion. So any of those objects held in front of you, any of the ways that we talked about, and then focusing on just lifting one foot from the floor and then the other. Because this is giving us that same single leg support and balance that we're challenged with in a normal walking position. The only difference being the forward displacement of your hips. So walking in place, object carry in place is better than not doing it at all. But of course, if you can do the object carry and actually move that load, that's going to be the most superior option for us. Remember finally that you can take those objects, you can put them up on your shoulders, you can stack them on your upper back, or if you're a real warrior, you can hold them directly overhead. But those can add challenge without giving us much more of a boost in benefits. So I like to encourage people to stick to the versions and variations that I showcased today. All right, hope this was helpful for you, and you have me as a little bit of a reminder next time you carry something. As soon as you're picking it up from the floor, get that flat back, get those shoulder blades organized, and when you're carrying something, try to keep it in close to the front of your body so you have that control and that activation for the safety of your joints. Alrighty, see you next time. Hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.